something we may all unfortunately experience in our lives, and it's important to understand the effects it may have on us. At Sovereign Health, their staff is specifically trained not only in treating addiction and mental illnesses, but also conditions arising from trauma and abuse. Joining me right now is Lori Baldwin of the Palm Desert Area Chamber of Commerce and Patrick Schoenbachler. Did I get that right?
You did.
Training Director at Sovereign Health Phoenix. Hi, welcome to the show. Lori, always great having you here. Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Yes, and Doctor, nice to meet you.
It's nice meeting you.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So first, Lori, I want to toss it over to you. Is there anything you want to tell us what's going on around the Valley?
Really quickly before we get into the doctor, we have our community yard sale happening on Saturday at the Chamber.
Okay.
So if people want to come out and join us, we'd love them to be there and support yard sales and treasures.
Well, great. All right, now Doctor, I want to toss it over to you now. So tell us about people that experience trauma. How does it affect us?
Trauma affects people physically as well as emotionally, psychologically. People who have experienced extreme aggression, violence, rape, automobile accidents, feel it. They not only experience it emotionally with fear, anxiety, and tremors, depression, stress, things like that, but also the body remembers and the body takes in these experiences. People who sometimes get stuck because they can't process the trauma, and the trauma then remains locked in the brain and is then re-experienced again and again and again. Some people can get locked in this pattern for literally years.
Wow, so to get unlocked from that pattern, talk to us about the therapy that you guys offer.
Trauma is treatable, and it's very treatable. People sometimes feel like because they're re-experiencing the trauma that this is odd, or they're somehow crazy, or they're disordered. This type of trauma can be treated both with talk therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, cognitive processing therapy. Our therapists are trained in these kinds of interventions, but talk therapy alone generally doesn't resolve unresolved trauma. We have to go through the next step, and there are techniques such as eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing, which is a technique that helps people process unprocessed trauma. We use neurofeedback at Sovereign Health. This is a technique that takes the brain patterns, the patterns that the trauma has made in the brain itself, and made these pathways that are repeated and people get stuck. And we kind of take those pathways and we redirect them so that people can process the trauma. We had a patient recently who, she came to us, we'll call her Samantha, and she was about 24 years old, had some very severe trauma, had been raped several times, and had done what a lot of trauma victims go through, and that is tried to medicate herself through alcohol and other drugs. She would wake up at night screaming, reliving the trauma and the awfulness of the tragedies that had happened to her. She came to us, she, like many of our patients, was angry, full of anxiety and fear, and we worked with her for several months, and she went through neurofeedback. We went through, I think, 2 sessions of neurofeedback, and she came to us and she said, "Last night was the first night I slept through the entire night without waking up screaming."
Wow,
that's incredible. Well, I think it's just so great and important what you guys are doing. And if you would like to reach Sovereign Health, give them a call or check out their website, sobhealth.com. You can also contact Palm Desert Area Chamber of Commerce, give them a call, or check out their website, pdacc.org. Thank you both for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Amy.
It's nice being here.
Yes, we'll be right back with more Desert Living in just a moment.